What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle. Today in the world of indie games, we're going to be taking a look at a little zombie survival game that actually has kind of reminded me of Last Stand Aftermath so far. That may be a good thing or a bad thing depending on who you are, because that game has sort of like a mixed personality. Some people really seem to like the Last Stand series, other people seem to be lukewarm about it, but this is a game where during the daytime we go out and scavenge a post-apocalyptic city for whatever conceptualized resources we can possibly get. And then when the nighttime comes out, all the zombies get like huge buffs. They become like the crazy sprinty zombies that take you out really easily. So we've got to retreat back to our home. We've got to build things up, get new facilities. The game has a combat system that actually kind of reminds me a little bit of like State of Decay, I guess, where you can kind of feel yourself attaching to the enemy while you're fighting, and you can kind of bounce around a little bit, Arkham Asylum style. And so I played for about 30 minutes. I was like, yeah, dude, we can do a video. It's obviously early on for this one. They don't even have an announced release date yet. There's lots of placeholders in here, but at a core level, I actually enjoyed myself. So if after watching this, you wanted to get the game for yourself, I got a link for you down below in the description. You can check that out there. On top of that, you can also find a bunch of other Nerd Castle links, just in case you wanted to give those the old spicy click. But let's go ahead and dive on into the game and see if we have a good time with it. I'll do my best to give you my first impressions as we cruise on through. Okay, so here we are in the middle of our base. It's going to have us do some light tutorialization right now to figure out where it is that we want to go. But for the moment, we actually just need to kind of like hot drop into the zombie combat zone. We do have a number of different things around here that we could interact with were we at that point in the game. But for right now, all we can really do is go out to the world map and see if there's something that we can get done. So we've got a base defense from a zombie invasion down here. Defend our last stronghold using available resources and weapons to withstand endless waves of zombies. Hold the base at all costs. Alright, let's get on in there. A fair bit of warning, right now all dialogue is just like AI placeholders. I'm really hoping I'm gonna go out there and say that like you're definitely gonna want to replace that with real voice acting once the game gets further on down the line. For right now, for a game that doesn't even have an announced release date yet, perfectly fine by me just to have it there so that the programmers and the designers and everything else know where that stuff's at. But for the moment, we looted a crate, we've got a pistol, but alas, we have no ammo for said pistol, so it's not really gonna do us a huge amount of good for right now. There is a trader down here. We can find stuff out on the map and give them to him. So when we kill zombies, we sort of get like this roguelike currency called samples. You can bring samples back over here to trade them in for stuff you might need in order to like make ammo, manufacture weapons, all that kind of stuff. For right now, we don't need to build any base turrets or anything. Let's go ahead and we will head out into the game world and see if we can get a little bit of scavenging done. I don't know what time it is, so night begins in 15 minutes. Alright, I'm gonna kick on the flashlight because even during daytime, the game is a little bit dark while you're cruising around. Looks like this car can be looted right here. So we've got to kill 100 zombies, we got to kill 5 giant zombies, and we've got to reach the quarantine zone. Do we actually know what the quarantine zone is or how we get there? 15 common parts right there that we just pulled out of that bin. So as far as the quarantine zone is confirmed, what is the quarantine zone? I'm gonna guess that it's probably that right there, like we've got to manage to get inside of there, but I don't really honestly know. For right now, let's head back down the road the opposite direction. We do have a zombie over here, so let's go ahead and light her up real quick. Legs clipping through the ground right there with this being upraised. Definitely gonna want to clean that up. It's one of those little polish issues that you kind of want the characters to be, you're going up on a sidewalk, not down into a sidewalk, you feel me? We can loot this car over here. And that had some alcohol, some syringes. Oh, we got shell casings. That'll be nice for manufacturing some ammunition. We did step on that curb right there, so it's possible that the collision is just not lined up properly on like little areas of the geometry on the map. We can go into buildings and whatnot should we desire to do so. For right now, I'll probably stay out on the street. And I think we should probably just look around and see what we can find out here. Inside that car, we have gunpowder and we have shell casing. So actually, I could probably go back and make bullets right about now, which would more than likely be kind of helpful. You got anything for me? An armor part. Yeah, intrigued by that. I'd love to throw on a little bit of armor. The game does have special infected from what I've seen so far. They're all the standard types, though, that you've come to expect. Don't expect them to blow your mind with any kind of, like, extra level originality there. You've got, like, the fast fast, sprinty zombies. You've got the ones that spit at you and create poison zones. You've got boomers, or the equivalent of boomers, that just run at you and you got to shoot them once with a pistol. Then they blow up, creating a giant gassy dead zone. But I haven't seen anything that stood out yet as being like a special infected that I haven't seen inside of a game just yet. We got 5 samples right there. UI, if you're looking for certain hallmarks on the UI right now, bottom left-hand corner is going to be most of the functional UI as it stands for the moment. We've got our primary weapon, which is our 22 revolver. We've got our knife, which actually does have limited durability for right now. And then on top of that, you've got the red kind of semicircular, I guess 3/4 circular meter down there. That's our health bar. And then around that are arrayed the various kind of like traps and things that we can use to mess with the zombies. This guy's got to go. The good news about the shitty McSpitties in this game, they are very, very incredibly slow, and they also take a ton of damage. So it only takes like 1 or 2 good swipes to take them down. Let's grab what we can from right there. Sample type 3. Okay, that must be like a rare sample or something. Good dithering on the trees on that side. I do like the way that they disappear. Right about the time that your character crosses and then you would have your view line obstructed, they pop out just perfectly. And that wouldn't be one of those things that I would mention, but in indie games nowadays, I've seen that done poorly a lot of times, or not at all, which is really kind of like the worst possible outcome. The player should always have visibility when it comes to playing the game, either through outlines or other things. These guys are kind of stacked up on top of one another. Normally, this would be a time... Oh, I pulled another one too, I think. Yeah, I got that one back there. All right, we're going to eat up a little bit of time here. The problem we're going to run into right now is that I don't have a method or a means to separate these zombies, and they move at roughly the same speed. And so once they start to lump up like that, that's when they become real dangerous. Zombies by themselves in this game, not that big of a deal. Zombies that are in like a 5-man lump, that's a big problem, because at best you're going to get one swing off, then you got to dodge out and away, and by the time you do that, it's just like, an actual mess. Let's loot this little crate down here just to see what we can get out of it. We got some weapon parts and some common parts. Good. If we ever get around to actually crafting things up and making things happen, I think that'll work out okay. Let's grab that right there. We've got another sample, and what's inside this barrel? I just want to investigate this big yellow exclamation point up here. There are things on the map. The last time I played, there was like quests and other little things around. Those are also all fully voice acted just by AI. Definitely hope they get that replaced, but there are other little activities and things that you can do out there throughout the map. It's definitely like an open world game before you fall back to your base every single night. And let's go ahead and grab that right there. We'll grab that right there. So far, I haven't seen any RPG mechanics or anything else like XP being gained by your characters so that you can apply it to a skill tree or get better. I would like to see those things. Honestly, I'm a big fan of the Bethesda method for progression, where you have default stats like melee combat or like knife combat or whatever. They level up through usage, and then once you get like 10 levels up through usage, you get to like apply a point to a tree. Honestly, I think that's my favorite way to develop out characters. Oh, we got a military zombie over here. Okay, let's get a little bit of a gap on him. I'm going to need to get some stamina back, but I think we've got him separated enough that I can go all in on him for right now and hopefully bring him down. Back off of that guy real quick before he resets his attack animation. And then we'll drop him real quick. Military zombie, we definitely want to go through his body. For any resources that might be a little bit better, I'll probably start making the trek back to base. Like 4 or 5 minutes, I'll probably head back that way. That way we have at least a little bit of time that we can do some crafting, kit ourselves out with some ammo, some guns, maybe buy ourselves some turrets or something to defend the city. All of that would be a good idea, but I need to check my map in just a minute too. And is that guy? Oh God, there's a spitter. All right, well, spitter got me with the poison blast. Let's see if we can maybe fade him a little bit. There we go. Yeah, you ain't spitting again, bro. Not one more time. Didn't anybody ever tell you that's rude? This area all looted up. We're almost at the place that I would like to be. Ooh, this mailing service truck, though. Let me get in there. A toolbox and some random parts. Okay. Maybe I'll head back a little bit early, actually. I don't know if we're actually going to make it all the way to the yellow exclamation point without running into some kind of opposition. I also don't know exactly how... Oh, no, I don't have a gun! No! No! Oh, he still got me, dude. He still got me, and what's worse is he blocked off that entire thoroughfare, so now I can't get through. You do have medkits on you when you start out in this game. They're like a semi-rare resource, but they do come up from time to time. They allow you to heal like 15% of your HP while you're out and about, just in case you get yourself scuffed up. Right now we have 2 of them, I think, but the font is very, very small on those right there. That can make it very, very difficult to read, so I'd probably look for a better way to represent that idea right there. Either that or take this entire UI implement and just make it larger by about 25%. It looks like you've got space for it on the actual overall UI, so it shouldn't be that big of a reconfiguration. Dodge out of the way. Okay, I'm gonna need the spitter to go next, but not until I get around his shot. Ugh. I don't suppose that, like, my right click does anything. My right click's gonna bring out my gun. I was kind of thinking about the fact that they could have, if they had got it put together, like an Arkham Asylum type, I don't know, like counter system inside of the game. We can get a new hunter's knife on here. We can handcraft. I would recommend that we manufacture some ammunition. That feels like a real strong idea after what just happened with that boomer right there. Your ammo in this game, you do have an active time reload, just like you would see in something like Gears of War. So if you hit it just perfectly right on the green dot, bim bam bomb, you get an instant reload that takes much less time than a normal reload. Oh, there's one right there. I didn't even see that one. I don't know exactly what, I think if you aim actually physically at the red spot while they're walking through it, I think you do get critical hit damage, in all honesty, with your firearms. I've noticed that their head tends to explode a lot faster if the red reticle is inside the white reticle, so I'm guessing that that's how that works. But that's just like me guessing based on having played for, 30 minutes or so and like fiddled around with it just to see what would happen. I went down the wrong way, unfortunately. How hard is it for us to craft one of those movement speed injections? Is that going to hurt me if I make one of those? Yeah, do that. I don't know how I use those. Can I use those somehow? Oh, it swaps it. Okay, so we've actually got like slots for the things that we're using. Yeah, I am quite a bit faster now, so I'll take that. I don't know how many enemies we're going to be going up against, but I'll just drop her real quick. Drop you real fast too. I mean, I've got ammo for days right now, so why stress about it? We'll grab what we can out of there for our gun parts. Let me loot this thing real quick. Oh, we got a spitter. All right, spitter. You hold real still for me, would you? You gonna drop anything for me, baby? A little couple weapon parts. That'll be nice. All right, let's get... Oh, don't do that. Okay, so this is one flaw that I have noticed with the game, and I'm going to point it out right now. So one flaw that I have noticed with the game is that I think the red barrels are actually enemies in disguise. What I mean by that is, I'm not trying to be like weird with my words right now, but red barrels, in my general experience so far, red barrels, they'll actually stick to your character just like an enemy will when you're trying to melee fight around them. So do yourself a favor and do not melee fight around barrels. It's a bad idea. Eventually, the stickiness of the combat is going to stick you to the barrel, and it's going to blow up on you. And from what I've tested, it's a one-shot if you get blown up by a barrel. All right, so we got 4 minutes to make it back home. Nothing said right here, but the door's closed. It says get to the quarantine zone, and it does say quarantine right there. So I don't know how we get in right now. I don't know what our best play is going to be. So let's just tool around a little bit. I may head back the way that I came to that little base that we started out at in the south, just to see if we can hole up there for the night and maybe be okay. Oh, maybe over here. Let's try this. Got you dropped real fast.
Let's find the key card inside this area.
Okay, so I got to find a key card. This is indeed the quarantine zone. Okay, but I've got like 3 minutes to find the thing that I'm looking for. Ugh, got me with that one. I gotta reload real quick. Okay, I'm gonna come back tomorrow, I think. Let me head back to base, we'll resupply over there, and then we'll see if we can get into the quarantine zone real fast. And with 1 second left to spare, I think I made it back to base. I think. Where's the base at? It's on the other side? Alright, let's go see if we can last till dawn inside of here. It got real dark real quick, and so the luxury of our eyeballs, probably not going to be that helpful out here today. It does look like we have guards, though, that are shooting at the zombies, so that will be helpful. It's a little dark out here, though. I am liking the mayhem of this combat, though. That's kind of nice. Like, bullets flying everywhere, people shooting everywhere. Let's get some loot, dude. I think they've got it covered. I don't know if the zombies can get in from other angles, but I'll just, like, run just a little bit of a distraction campaign out here for a little bit. We need to get some flood lamps or something installed in this area. How do you expect to effectively fight the enemy if you can't see them? Pick up everything I can because I think samples are going to be really useful as time goes along. We got to hold for 5 minutes? Well, 2 seconds left on nighttime, and I'm about tapped out on everything, but the guards held. I don't know if it's going to get worse day after day. It is iterating what day it is, so I'm guessing the intensity of the situation is going to get worse and worse as time goes along. But let's see what we can upgrade inside of here first before we go do anything else. So at the weapon bench, we can make some new stuff. We already have the revolver. If we wanted to make an M4, we can make that like right this second. I do think that that would be a pretty solid force multiplier. We can also make a shotgun, I guess. It looks like they have a Spaz 12 or something right there. Let me see what my other options are before I go all in on that, and then we'll figure it out. We've got like helmets and stuff over here too. Okay. All right, so we got the armor bench over there. We got a weapon bench over there. Are there any other benches that I have not interacted with yet? Not really. It's just the trader over here that allows me to trade things for samples. I will trade for quite a bit of gunpowder, I think. And then from there, I think I also need shell casings. So that sounds like a solid play. A couple more med kits wouldn't be the worst idea. And then I think we're going to have to go out and scavenge the rest of the stuff that we're going to need. All things considered, though, not too upset with how our first day went. We can also upgrade these little points right here, basically like turrets where we can deploy new guys to help us defend those spots. It looks like we get times 30 from those. Okay. Well, let's see if we can get a baseball bat over here. I don't hate the idea of a baseball bat. Says it's for crowd control. Make me a baseball bat real quick, and then I'll see if tonight I can go out and get anything that'll give us a little bit better of a chance. Baseball bat only has 100 hits on it, though, so I'm going to have to get used to that. How hard is this to upgrade over here? Is this, like, easy to upgrade, or is this, like, difficult to upgrade? We can get a pistol wanderer, or we can get a shotgun skirmisher. Yeah, let's do that. Let's upgrade his gun to a shotgun. That way he's a little bit tougher, and he's kind of patrolling this inner area, which is where we're trying to keep the zombies out of anyways, because there's a generator at the back end of the base, and if the zombies destroy it, I think we lose the mission, and so let me see what I can scavenge here today, because I'd love to have an M4 with, like, 300, 400 rounds of ammo before we go to the quarantine zone. That would be very, very idyllic. Definitely want to change that baseball bat sound around right there. Things getting hit with a baseball bat, whether it be aluminum or wood, very, very distinctive sound to that, whereas it sounds like they just recycled the sound effect from using a machete or a knife or whatever else. But the difference does matter in the overall architecture of a game. Let me heal real quick, just to get my health back up to maximum. Good stuff. We've already gone through the cars over here. It only takes us 3 hits to take down a zombie, whereas with the knife, it's like 5, I think was what it was taking for most of the zombies. So 3 is good. 3 saves us a little bit of stamina. It makes this flow a little bit better. Okay, he took 4, unfortunately. I'm hoping the baseball bat gives us a little bit of cleave, too. That would also be nice, so that I'm not just, like, single-target fighting like I was with the hunting knife. What you wanted? Oh, can't fight him on the stairs. Okay, that's another thing that's going to need to be cleaned up right there. So definitely some little bugs and polish issues that all need to be seen to before the game goes into a commercial release. A little bit of gun parts right there. That's good. Let's just clear this house out real quick. How about that? Are you lootable? That door is locked, but I'm trying to get it to loot the zombie. There we go. Armor parts. That'll be a nice pickup. What we got in this big crate over here? Anything juicy? 22 LR, I don't despise it. In here, we've got something else. I do like that the buildings have both, like, I like how you can cruise around in the streets, but I also really like the fact that you can actually go inside the houses and loot around inside of there, too. That's a nice little detail that some of the houses are actually open, and then you can cruise through them. We got zombies on this side. I don't even know what I want to scavenge for right now. 11 minutes left till I gotta be back home. All right, I will keep that in mind. Grab that real quick. I may try out the fire axe tomorrow too, just to see if I like the fire axe better than I like the baseball bat. How many bullets do I have? 26. That's not the worst. Go ahead and reload the wheel real quick. 22 LR though, dude. That's a little bit underpowered for the throwdown that we're currently engaged in. I don't know if I'd want to be in this with like some 22 rimfire. That doesn't feel like something that I would like to be equipped. Oh, that poison hurts, bro. That poison's stingy. Oh, that's a big zombie right there. Hold on. Let's whoop this guy real quick. All right. He hath been whooped. What's up with... I'm going to shoot him with a gun. Doesn't appear to be working so great. I mean, we got him. Took most of our ammo, but we got him, and he gave us a type of sample that we didn't have access to before.
Dead survivor, not a common thing.
A dead survivor.
To check what he has, maybe I will find something useful.
We got a trades key.
This guy had a key. It must be from his shelter or something. I should check
Okay.
these places somewhere in the city.
No, I know exactly where that goes to from playing the game earlier. I was wondering where that key was at, and look at that. We stumbled across it in the midst of our game. Can't loot that locker, but it looked like it was going to be lootable. It definitely had like that gun locker style appearance to it. Oh, well. What you got in here? 5.56 ammo, actually. Good, because that's what I'm working my way towards right now. Can't loot that truck. Okay. What's inside the barrel over here? Just like water? Pills, actually. Okay. Weapon parts. That's real good. Can I get into the diner? The door's locked. Interesting. So, like, are we going to have to, like, Tarkov style, find a bunch of keys all over the map to actually get into these places? Because there's a real big, real awesome... Wait, there's a side door. Hold on. Hold on. Oh, Jesus! Okay, yep, my body hurts. Let me go ahead and just med kit up real quick. You guys keep doing your dealio over here. All right, now that I'm somewhat healed up. Got one. And two. All right, let's go check that side door real fast because I saw that big crate in there. And I really want to know what's inside of it. It looked like a military shipping crate to me. And so if I could get my hands on that bad boy, I don't know, dude. Maybe it was like a minigun or like a flamethrower or something in there. Kick on my flashlight real quick. Couple more bullets for the 22. Do I have to access it from the front? What do we got, baby? We got a toolbox, shell casings, and something else. That's fine. It helps me build ammunition. And the toolbox is what we use to upgrade all of our sentries that are on the walls. So that'll be nice to have as well. Really, I'm just trying to grab whatever I can possibly grab while I'm out here in the next couple minutes before we go back to fight for our lives again. Not a bad haul from what I've seen so far. I hate those running zombies, dude. Those running zombies make me stressed. I don't like being stressed. I like to be in a relaxed state of enjoyment of life. And they're making that very difficult. It looked like it cleaved right there, maybe. At least it hit the one that was off to the side of us. I'm not going to go too far from home, though, because I'm just trying to, like, gather up stuff to equip myself so that I can make a hit run on the action. Did I already reload my gun? Okay, my gun's already reloaded. All right, drop him real quick. Okay, the more samples I can get my hands on, the more I can trade for later on down the line. I may just run down this little avenue right here, or this little, like, I don't know, alleyway right here, and then loop back home. That way I've got a couple minutes to kit out before our next night fight. That's feeling like something that would be advantageous to me. Lots of zombies coming. Let's focus on this one real quick. I didn't get my reload off fully all the way, but I got time now. Down you go. I am liking the variety in the zombie models, but they're going to need more. For, like, I think a vertical slice demo, they've got a decent amount of them right there, and that's perfectly fine. But for a final release, dude, you really want to design almost like a model algorithm that just randomly generates zombies based on male, female, top, bottom clothing, so that you're always getting something interesting in between all the special zombies, which always kind of look the same. This chest looks promising. What's in here? 12 gauge, 5.56, fragmentation grenades. Okay. We've also got a big giant med crate over here. Can I loot those? No. I mean, med kits are in the game, and so I figure when I see a med kit laying on a table, I should probably be able to loot it, right? Let's see. You drop anything? Nope. Baseball bat's getting a little the worse for wear, though. It may be time for us to loot back home and sort of get ourselves situated for tonight. Back home with a couple minutes left to spare, let's spend some of our goodies on some firepower, shall we? I want to put some serious rounds through targets here. I'm excited about that prospect. And so I am going to make myself an M4 real fast. I don't know if the M4 is going to have durability or whatever else, but I'm going to make one. I'm also going to make a fire axe. It says it does devastating melee damage, and so I like that idea. We've got shell casings and we've got powder. Let's just spend all of it getting ourselves as many rounds of ammunition as we possibly can. Back into my inventory real quick, and we will unequip you. And then in our gun menu, we'll go ahead and throw on the M4. That wasn't exactly what I wanted. There we go. Now we got our M4. Oh yeah, okay. Now we're busting some heat at the enemy. That's what I like to see. If I wanted to upgrade the guys on the walls, do I have anything for that before we start getting hit? Like, are these the tower guards right here? Pistol overwatch to a shotgun sentry. Yeah, let's do that. And then this one over here will do the exact same thing. There we go. And so these guys should have shotguns now, right? They do indeed appear to have long guns now. Good. Is there like another level to that I can take them up? They can become assault rifle gunners if I can find a lot more common parts and I can find a lot more tool parts. But I think we'll be good to go. We've also got up Guga Raid right here. We got a little bit of a typo banging on out. So definitely a little bit loosey-goosey as far as the demo goes, but honestly, I actually think that they're not too far off the mark if they focus their time on just refining the systems they've got here and then adding a little bit more complexity. I suppose we could take a look at building armor too if I have the stuff for it. I'm gonna need a lot more parts to make it work, but we can make some SWAT body armor. That'd be nice. Yeah, make me a little SWAT plate carrier. Maybe we'll make like a SWAT helmet real fast, see if it changes up the graphic on our characters so that we look a little bit more tactical based on where we're at right now. No, it doesn't. It automatically equipped it, but you are going to want to get those armor models on in there for characters that are upgraded versus characters that are not upgraded. I would highly, highly recommend getting that in there because for a game like this, that's like one of the main things that people are into with zombie apocalypse games is getting themselves into a position where, you know, they look badass. I would say fashion is like 80% of my consideration inside my modding efforts in Project Zomboid. Well, I got bad news for you. It most assuredly does get worse as time goes along because these zombies are all up inside my base right now. They walked right through the gate and did not care even slightly. So I think we may be in a position where we need to upgrade the gates if, we're not going to clinch this thing like tonight. We got like 45 seconds of invasion left. I've gone through 300 rounds of ammo inside the base just defending the generator. The hordes, they are definitely getting chunkier. The good news is we still get to loot all of these guys during the fight, which should give us a really good handful of samples to hopefully resupply ourselves with more ammo before we go after the quarantine zone to actually complete the mission and go back to the main base. And so hopefully that works out okay for us. God, dude, I am just getting bombed out with toxins right now. I'm gonna need to like med kit for a little bit. Yeah, dude, med kit me up. There we go. If I go to my hand grenade, how hard is that to do? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Get hand grenaded on. That's what we call that old fire in the hole. More specifically, fire inside your hole is what I was aiming for. Let me loot all these samples real quick, and then we're just gonna trade all of these into shell casings and into gunpowder. Oh, if I upgrade these, how hard is it to upgrade? I need hella toolboxes. Okay, but it looks like if we upgrade the gates, we can actually close them and force the zombies to chew their way through first before they get to us, which is a very, very good thing to know. Let's go ahead and I'll probably spend like half that on shell casings, and then I'll spend the other half on as much gunpowder as I can get. And then we're going to have to, like, move, bro, if we want to get up to that spot. Like, we're definitely going to have to cut through the enemy pretty good. The other piece of bad news that I have for you is that the fire axe is doo-doo. It's kind of like bugged right now where it dashes you past the enemy you're trying to hit. And so I would not use that at the moment. We'll just go with the hunting knife. I feel like it feels the best compared to all the other weapons. And then we'll see if we can get out of here and actually accomplish something today. But time is not on our side right now. So with about 10 minutes left, I've made it over to the quarantine zone that we're supposed to be securing in order to complete our mission. Let's see if we can get in here. I'm not even going to play with these cats. I'm just going to gun them all down because I'm doing okay on ammunition right now. I haven't really been scavenging, but I don't think scavenging is going to be that important here. There we go. Blow them up. Let me grab what I can off of these dudes in case I need to resupply. And I think we were looking for a key card or something inside of here. Drop him real fast. Lots of explosive barrels around. Oh, 2 of the fast ones. Okay. Yeah, not in love with that. Oh, another fast one, dude. These military zombies. Very, very quickly becoming a problem. It looks like there's something down here, but I don't know what. Let me get this big crate real fast, just in the off chance that it has toolkits, because I do still very much need to reinforce the northern gate back at my base. That was the one that was failing on me the most when I was coming through. I've gone through a lot of ammo already. All right. Cool. Few more of them down. We are going to need ammo pretty soon, though. We did get a nice little resupply right there. Let me crack this open, too, while I'm in the neighborhood. These big crates, you just never want to ignore them because they got stuff like toolkits and, like, bullets and stuff inside of them that make your life a lot easier and save you manufacturing time. Loot that real quick. All right. Oh, that one was empty. Well, that's a dirty bamboozle. Slow zombies, I don't really want to waste bullets on if I've got them isolated. What am I looking for here? Generator panel, actually. Okay. Okay.
All right, we've got a power. Now we need to close the west gates.
Okay. I'll try to get that done before this is over. I don't know if I'm going to have time tonight, but I'm going to try. I'm going to do my ample best. I'm applying myself with at least like 60 or 70% effort right now. Let's take a minute and loot while we wait for our stamina to come back. Now if we want the gates to be closed, the west gate's pretty far in, dude. Also, I don't know if that's like a greater part of what it is we're trying to do here. I don't know if I have time. I'm going to make a scoot for it, but if there's a lot of enemies down here, I don't have a good feeling about it. Like, I don't think it's going to be a successful push. What I'll try to do is just completely and totally ignore every slow zombie on the way over there and just stay out of their way. Or not. Or we'll have exploders and stuff all over the place. Run through the poison. I'm not going to have any bullets left for tonight if I keep this up. Oh, my reticle tweaked out on me right there. All right, we're good. Where's this gate at? Are we almost there? Oh, dude, we still got a long ways left to go. And only like 80 rounds left to do it in. Okay. Just stay. Oh, God, he got me, huh? I'm just going to try to move through. That's the nice thing about zombies, is that they are not particularly fast. I'll just try to take down the ones that are a larger threat as I move through. That's fine. She can get a hit off. I've got armor. Gun parts. Okay. I love the fact that my firearm does not have any form of durability on it. I don't mind that the melee does, but like if my firearm had to be replaced every day or two.
West gate's closed. Need to close one more gate and get out of here.
All right. What's the other gate that I'm trying to close? Is it just that front gate? It said I needed to find a key card, but a key card I never found. So we are close enough on time right now that I think a couple movement speed injections might not be a terrible idea either. Yeah, get that in there, and then eject that real quick so that I'm faster. Oh, not fast enough. God, dude, right off screen, too. Either way, this will keep my stamina going a little bit better. That way I can truck it on down here to the south gate and close that thing off. I don't know if it wanted me to do it in a specific order. That's why I went west first, but, like, now I'm starting to doubt it, dude. The good news is I can go back the way I came, back to my base. All right. Door's locked. I gotta find the key card for the south gate. Oh, dude, that's a headache. Okay, so let's go through then, and we'll just, like, loot this place a little bit, and then we'll head back home. I think this is going to be like a 2-day operation, but it appears to me as though there is metagame progression in between missions, so that you can, like, craft stuff at that main base that we started out in. You know that base that we were only in for, like, a second? Oh, that's not good. Definitely got to fix that. You know that base that we were only in for, like, a minute, and the only thing we could interact with the map was the map? It looks to me like at some point you go back there. Oh, Jesus. All right, there we go. Let me loot these bodies real quick, too, for anything I can get off of them. I don't have that many samples or anything yet. I gotta figure out what I use the specialized samples for. Like the way nicer samples. Those are the ones that, like, I really, really want to get a grip on. But he might be separated from the other guy far. Nope, not separated from the other guy far enough. Definitely guns the way to go in this game. Guns absolutely the way to go. You want guns, and you want that magazine stacked up nice, because the guns make this just flow smoother. I am going to need time. I see you. You're running up on me, big pudgy idiot. All right, it doesn't look like there's too much more to loot inside of here, and unfortunately, because I was trying to haul ass over here in order to look for this key card and, like, set up the generators and everything else, I don't think I'm going to have a ton of time to loot, so I'm just going to head out, I think. What does this thing do? Confirm fast travel to I can get an airlift? Yo! Okay, yeah, dude. Big fan of that. Apparently there's, like, nodes on the map that instantly take you back home. Sweet. Yeah, that's exactly the kind of thing that I'm excited about. But this is Times of Survival. Kind of a generic name for the game, kind of a generic art style, but I actually do think that they have a solid central gameplay idea here that works. I'm not against it. Like, I'm definitely, is the game ready for prime time? Is it ready for a release? Absolutely not. There's lots of little collision things, there's lots of little bugs, typos, AI voice acting that need to be taken care of. However, did I have fun while I was playing it? Yes, absolutely. The game keeps the pressure on you, and it keeps you moving and hustling, and I do think that they've actually kind of caught that magic that Last Stand had, and so keep working on this. Keep hammering away at it. Add the armor graphics, you know, make it so your character's more customizable, make it so there's, like, some RPG mechanics to the game as well, while you're out here scavenging and murdering and taking down the ravenous undead. And, dude, I think this would definitely be a game that I could spend 4 or 5 hours in for sure. My name is Splattercat. I sift through the pile to find what's worthwhile in the world of indie games every single day so that you don't have to. Today up on the chopping block, I was messing around with a little title called Times of Survival, which I just found, like, at the rock bottom of, like, the survival genre meters right now, so I'm guessing they put it up recently, and it hasn't had time to, like, populate its reviews or anything else yet. I am encouraged, though. Lots of things to be fixed, lots of things to be polished, but core idea is good, core idea is fun. Foundation is in the right spot, and so that's not a bad place to be. My name is Splattercat. I sift through the pile to find what's worthwhile in the world of indie games every single day so that you don't have to, and I'll see y'all tomorrow with something hot and fresh off the indie skillet. Bye, folks.